I plan to walk away from my life tomorrow. Not literally, but close. My resignation email was drafted. I typed up my apartment lease termination. I even had a one-way ticket to San Antonio, where my sister lives. 34 years old and preparing to start from scratch. A year ago, my wife left. 6 months ago, I stopped caring about my job. 3 months ago, I stopped caring about anything at all. I keep telling myself I'm not depressed, just empty. Moving through days on autopilot, waiting for something to shift. But nothing ever does. It's 11 p.m., Tuesday. I'm heading home from the office again, mostly because I had nowhere else to be. The streets are unusually quiet. Rain earlier has everything slick, reflecting streetlights. I'm barely aware of my surroundings, thinking about tomorrow, about the email, about disappointing people again. Then I notice him, a man, maybe in his 60s, maybe older, wearing an expensive but worn dark gray coat. He stands beneath a streetlight, looking directly at me. Not near me, at me. Our eyes meet. Something in his expression, interest, recognition, almost an invitation, makes me slow down. He turns and walks toward a street I've passed countless times but never paid attention to. I should go home. I should ignore this. But something inside me, maybe desperation, maybe curiosity, maybe the last part of me that hasn't quit yet, pushes me to follow. Have you ever followed a stranger on instinct alone? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoy stories about strange encounters, magical realism, and moments that change everything, subscribe and hit the bell. He never looks back. He walks like he knows exactly where he's headed, and like he knows I'm behind him. We turn into an alley between two buildings. I've walked past it for 3 years. It's always just a narrow gap with a dumpster and sometimes a few people sleeping there. But tonight it feels different, longer, darker, as if it leads somewhere instead of ending at a wall. The man stops at a door. I've never seen a door here. It's old wood. No sign, no number, just a brass handle polished from countless hands. He opens it and steps inside. The door begins to close. I should walk away, go home, send my emails, pack my life. Instead, I lunge forward, grab the door, and step in. The first thing I notice is the smell. Not food exactly, but something deeper, like memory made physical. Like walking into your grandmother's house on Christmas morning when you were a kid. Like the moment right before something wonderful happens. Then the silence. Not empty silence, but a soft, padded quiet, like being underwater, but able to breathe. I'm in a small foyer, dark wood, warm light coming from sources I can't find. A hallway stretches ahead. I hear music, live piano, something familiar but unplaceable. Good evening. I turn. A woman stands beside me. I never heard her approach. She's in her 30s, auburn hair, black dress, smiling like she's expected me. I followed someone, I say. A man in a gray coat. Yes, she nods. He said you would arrive. He did? We've been expecting you, Adrian. My stomach drops. How do you know my name? She doesn't reply. She only gestures down the hallway. Your table is ready. I didn't make a reservation. You didn't need to. What is this place? The threshold, she says simply, as if that explains everything. Welcome. I'm Isabel. She walks. I follow, because I have no idea what else to do. The hallway opens into a dining room, small, 10 tables at most, all occupied, all quiet, people talking softly or eating in reflective silence. The lighting is impossible, not bright, not dim, like golden hour frozen in place. Candles flicker without moving. The walls are covered in tapestry-like patterns that seem to shift when I'm not looking directly at them. Here, Isabel says, a table set for one, white tablecloth, real silver. A candle, a flower I can't identify. I don't have my wallet, I say. There's no charge tonight. Why? Because you needed to be here. She pulls out my chair. I sit, too stunned to resist. Your server will be with you shortly. She disappears. I look around. Everyone is absorbed in their meals, their thoughts. No phones, no distractions. I reach for mine instinctively. It's dead. It was at 60% earlier. I try powering it on. Nothing. A waiter appears, young, dressed in black, holding a slim leather folder. What is this place? I ask. How did she know my name? Where's the menu? He smiles, opens the folder. Inside is a single handwritten card. What would your life taste like if you had chosen differently? I don't understand. You will, he says. May I bring your first course? I didn't order anything. You don't need to. We know what you need. He leaves before I can reply. I sit there, surrounded by strangers eating in reverent silence, wondering if this is real. And for the first time in months, I feel something. Curiosity. The waiter returns with a single bowl. A clear broth, steaming in delicate patterns. What is this? I ask. Remembrance, he says. That's not a kind of soup. It is here. He steps away. I lift the spoon. The moment the broth touches my lips, I'm 7 again. Literally, not remembering, but there. My grandmother's kitchen. She's teaching me to draw, showing me how light falls, how to see beauty in ordinary things. Son, she says, you have a gift. Don't waste it. I loved drawing then. Loved creating. Wanted to be an artist. 10 years later, I chose architecture instead. Practical, stable. I stopped drawing for joy and started drawing for clients. The memory fades. I'm back at the table. Half the soup gone. Tears running down my face without realizing. The waiter returns quietly and clears the bowl. The second course appears. Simple ribbon pasta with herbs. Possibility, he says. Again. Graduation day. My girlfriend Rachel wants to move to Jacksonville. I have an offer in New York. She asks me to come with her. I choose New York. The pasta shows me the alternate version, the one I didn't choose. A life with Rachel, a home, kids, happiness that isn't flashy, but full. Then the memory shifts. She's not an ex anymore. She's my wife in that timeline. We're on a porch. The kids are playing. I'm sketching again, and we're content. The pasta is gone. I'm shaking with sobs. A woman at the next table squeezes my hand. She's crying too. Everyone here is tasting regrets, choices, unrealized lives. The third course comes. Meat, rich, layered. Forgiveness, the waiter whispers. I'm 33. My wife Julia, not Rachel, tells me she's leaving. You're never here, she says. Even when you're home, you're somewhere else. In reality, I let her leave and blamed her. But the dish shows me the truth. Her perspective. The dates I canceled. The converse. The years of distance. I'm sorry, I say aloud. To the memory, to Julia. You have to forgive yourself too, the memory says. The plate empties. I'm not crying anymore. I feel lighter. Dessert arrives. A small slice of chocolate cake with a raspberry. This one is hope, the waiter says. I take a bite and I see tomorrow. Not the escape route I planned, but a life rebuilt through small changes. Drawing again, apologizing sincerely, choosing differently in manageable steps. When I finish, I sit quietly. What is this? I ask when the waiter returns. Some things can't be explained, he says. Only experienced. I need to come back. Maybe. The threshold appears when needed, not when wanted. Can I pay? You already have. With what? Your willingness to see. Isabel returns. Adrian, it's time. The man I followed, who is he? Someone who once walked your path. Someone who helps others find theirs. Will I see him again? Perhaps she'll become. She leads me out. I step through the door, into the alley. But now the alley looks normal. The door is gone. My phone turns on, 60% battery. Only 32 minutes have passed. The next morning, I don't send my resignation. I open an old sketchbook and draw. Clumsy, rusty, but right. At lunch, I call Julia. I apologize, honestly. No expectations. She thanks me. I tell her I'm getting there. That night, I search for the alley door. It's gone. I return daily for a week. Nothing. 2 weeks later, eating lunch at a park, I meet a woman, Naomi, clearly burned out. We talk. I tell her not to run from herself. She laughs at the cryptic advice. 3 months pass. I've changed jobs, smaller firm, more creative. I step inside. The familiar smell. Isabel appears. I didn't think you needed to return, she says. Not to eat, I reply. To understand. She leads me to the kitchen. The chef turns. The man in the gray coat. You knew I'd follow, I say. I knew you needed to, he answers. And now someone else needs to follow you. I don't know how, I say. You don't have to know. You only have to guide. Isabel touches my arm. She's waiting. I walk back outside. The woman stands under the streetlight, lost. Excuse me, I tell her. I know this sounds strange, but I think you should follow me. To what? She asks. To something that might help, I say. With whatever you're running from. She hesitates, then nods. I lead her to the door. They're expecting you, I say. You're not coming? I already did. This is your turn. She steps inside. The door closes. And I finally understand. The threshold finds you when you need it. Change comes when why. And once you change, you help someone else begin. I walk home smiling, because I'm not lost anymore. Have you ever followed a stranger on instinct alone? Ever found a place or moment that felt impossible but undeniably real? Which part affected you most? Adrian confronting his regrets, finding forgiveness, or becoming someone else's guide? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this story about mysterious places, second chances, and rediscovering purpose moved you, like the video and subscribe for more stories about magical realism and transformation. Hit the bell so you never miss the next one. Thanks for watching. See you in the next story.